NIPUN is National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy, that every child should have these capabilities. And contents here we are going to discuss are academic aspects is part A, and in that it covers understanding foundational language and literacy, foundational numeracy and mathematical skills, shifting towards competency based learning, teaching and learning, learning assessment, teaching learning process and role of a teacher, school readiness or school preparation module. In part B, we will cover national mission, aspects and approaches, strategic planning of the mission, role of various stakeholders, academic support through SCRTs and DIETs, leveraging Diksha, NDR, parental and community engagement, monitoring and information technology framework, sustainability of the mission, need for research, evaluation and documentation. Here we are going to start with a small story, that is understanding foundational literacy. Veena and Rakesh were incredibly happy with their son Ujjwal. He is 6 years old and was studying in class 1 in well-known public school. The school had made Ujjwal such a disciplined, quiet child who spoke only when spoken to and considered studies were more important than playing. One fine day when Ujjwal was in second standard, Veena and Rakesh had to relocate to smaller town on transfer. Ujjwal was admitted to a new school. On the third day in school, the class teacher conversed with parents and informed that Ujjwal is not able to keep pace with the class because he is not able to read. The teacher informed parents that at the end of class 1, Ujjwal should be able to read at least 4 to 5 simple words in unknown text, so that in class 2, he is able to read unknown text of 8 to 10 sentences with appropriate speed and clarity. The parents were shocked and did not know what to do next. The teacher told them not to worry and informed that she would work separately on Ujjwal to make him catch up with the rest of the class. At the end of 3 months, Ujjwal had transformed into a happy, playful kid who loved playing with his friends every day and reading a new story book on his own. Now we have read the story about a child whose ability is lacking in FLN. So what is FLN? Let us know. FLN is Foundational Language and Numeracy. Ministry of Education has launched a national initiative for proficiency in reading with understanding and numeracy, that is NIPUN Bharat, for ensuring that every child in the country necessarily attains foundational literacy and numeracy by the end of grade 3 by the year 2026 to 2027. The national mission has been launched under the scheme of Samagra Shiksha, will focus on providing access and retaining children in foundational years of schooling, teacher capacity building, development of high quality and diversified students with teaching resources or teaching learning materials. So FLN is foundational learning, foundational language and numeracy. Foundational learning is the base of future learning for a child. The vision of the mission is to acquire reading, writing, arithmetic, that is numeracy, so that every child achieves the desired learning competencies at the end of grade 3. The mission will cover the learning needs of children in the age group of 3 to 9 years. FLN skills include that oral language development, phonological awareness, decoding, vocabulary, writing, reading comprehension, concept about print, means children need to be exposed to different types of print-rich environment. And foundational numeracy ability means to apply simple numerical concepts in daily life problem solving by using number concepts, knowledge and skills of comparing, recognizing patterns, serves as the foundation for mathematical learning in early primary classes. Shifting towards competency-based learning, when children from diverse backgrounds having different learning needs enter into the formal school, the standards of students to be tested in a time-limited learning system. So only the children can advance, the children can go into the next level only upon mastering the current level. And the measurable learning outcomes should be designed by the teacher itself. And the teacher should identify the child's strengths, needs, interests, and preferences, and potentiate child's performance and scaffold it through intervention. And the domains, the different domains of development are cognitive development, moral development, art and aesthetic development, are interrelated and interdependent in the teaching learning process. And teaching learning process and the role of a teacher. Every teacher who deals with foundational learners must understand that learning in variety of ways and have different learning levels in each class. So first is the teacher's first and foremost work is to encourage a child to talk. In majority classrooms, the teachers talk most of the time, while children either give oral responses or are passive spectators. Children learn more when they are encouraged to talk. Next is creating an encouraging learning environment. Activities like choral repetition, copying from blackboard are repeatedly done. Children soon get interested or distracted. Children get distracted if there is no sense of enjoyment or fun in the teaching learning process. Teaching through experiential and real world based pedagogy. Children do not take interest in learning if teaching in the classroom is only textbook centered. Children join school with informal mathematical knowledge, and mathematics learning in classroom must be connected with child's outside school experiences so that the child can better participate in the classroom activities. Next, continuous assessment and identifying learning gaps frequently. A teacher must integrate continuous assessment and examinations to be largely focused on testing for skills or concept development rather than only focusing on content. Next, support for the struggling learners. Teachers must be able to provide additional support to children who are lagging behind, and the gap should be covered frequently. Next, creating a print-rich environment in classroom. Teachers need to provide print-rich and toy-rich environment in the classroom. That is, additionally, the teachers have to supply some material to the students. Next is academic aspects. National Education Policy 2020, as highlighted in NEP 2020, bringing children's home language into the formal teaching for ensuring inclusive and equitable student learning. Focus on foundational literacy and numeracy is most important, that is on reading, writing, speaking, counting, arithmetic and mathematical thinking will ensure that students all-round development. And recognizing the crucial role of foundational skills announced under the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign that a national foundation literacy and numeracy mission will ensure that every child in the country attains foundational literacy and numeracy in grade 3 by the year of 2026 to 2027. Next, understanding foundational language and literacy. The ability understanding foundation and ability. The ability to read and write and perform basic operations with numbers is prerequisite for all the future schooling and lifelong learning. Literacy is not viewed merely as decoding, but rather than the whole act of reading. Multilingual classrooms. Multilingual education can play a significant role in engaging diverse learners. In Indian classrooms, there will be children speaking more than one language in a class. The foundational literacy skills can be developed on linguistic and cultural resources of children also. This also facilitates the development of divergent thinking among the children. Early language and literacy. Language is more not just on listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Children begin to read the written material around them, like wrappers of biscuits and toffees, posters on roadside, etc. These are the signs of their early literacy and natural efforts of education. Writing is also a process of comprehending the thoughts and sharing it with others. By using effective writing strategies, children discover and refine ideas by their own. And decoding. Decoding involves deciphering written words based on understanding the relationship between the symbols and their sounds. For this, teachers should select familiar and interesting tests for drawing attention of the sounds of words and letters. Next, key components in foundational language and literacy. Oral language development. Children come to school with a rich oral language of their homes. Their experiences in oral language are important for developing skills of reading and writing. Means these oral language which is used at home are the basics for the child in the school. Next, reading comprehension. It involves constructing meaning from a text and thinking critically. When a child can comprehend, he or she is able to explain, extend, give examples, make inferences, can predict and summarize what she has read. Next, vocabulary. Developing knowledge of a wide range of words and word meanings. This domain includes the competencies of oral vocabulary like reading, writing, etc. And reading fluency. Children's ability to read a text with accuracy, speed, expression, and comprehension allows the child to make meaning from the text. And this is what most important for the child to grasp the meaning from the any passage which he has read. Many children recognize aksharas but read them laboriously one by one. This hampers the process of understanding what is being read. The children should be able to decode it in about 12 seconds, which he or she has read. Next, pedagogies for enhancing language and literacy development. That is reading aloud. Reading aloud develops their listening skills along with their interest in understanding the story also. Variations in pitch, tone, pace, volume, pauses, and eye contact and comments make fluent and enjoyable experience for the children when they read aloud. Next, songs and rhymes. The rhyming words in the rhymes help children notice and construct their own words, enriching their vocabulary. Next, drama and role play. Drama is invariably a part of children's own traditional play activities and games. It enriches all the skills of language learning like the skills of LSRW. Next, experience-based writing. Daily experiences of classrooms or outside world are important opportunities for writing for the children. And the learners should be encouraged by the teachers to write their own diaries in their own words.
Sripriya ma'am, just we'll be having a small discussion right now because many of our staff members, they have attended this experience-based learning on Diksha portal, I think.
Yes, sir.
Can they, Ravikanji or Bandi Korban sir or somebody, can you speak about what was discussed in that experience learning course? There was a course on the Diksha portal. In that they discussed experience learning. We all did actually, including myself. Anybody, if you can chip in, it's good. Else, I want to throw some light on that. You know, first of all, they have shown us some group activities in that training, experience learning. Okay, the group activities are in such a manner the children they will be moving around. They will be moving around without they will be talking to each other. Some ice breaking sessions were there in the initial phase, and later the children use it to form into different shapes. Okay, suppose the theme was about aeroplane. I found the children making a picture of aeroplane. Children divided into different groups. They made themselves into an aeroplane. They formed and made a shape. Actually, what happened there? In order to make a shape of aeroplane, they should understand what is aeroplane. So there will be a kind of discussion among the children, and the discussion leads to formation of aeroplane shape. So when the child is involving himself in the learning, it becomes experiential learning. And right now, I'm not able to put it in a proper perspective, but if you attend that training, it's given by CBSE, and most probably it will be still available on Diksha portal. We can revise also. All of you have attended. Okay. We can revise also, but it gives a lot of interesting insight into using classroom, means that experiential learning into our classrooms. And children will love it, I'm telling you. You will take them outside and they will love doing that kind of activities. And at the same time, they learn a lot. So I request all of you, once again, you all attended the training, but once again, you refresh. Now, Supreme ma'am, you can continue.
Okay. Okay, the next is foundational numeracy and mathematical skills. Early mathematical skills for developing logical thinking and reasoning among children. Numeracy is important for developing logical thinking and reasoning in daily life. We need numeracy to solve problems and to make sense of numbers, time, the time which we see, no? 1 a.m., 2 a.m. like that, and patterns and shapes, etc. For some are the simple daily life activities which a child can observe through these numeracy skills. And some activities like cooking, traveling, playing, communication, even these are also the life skills which include the mathematical skills in that. And these are not just skills but life skills which every child should acquire and develop. Number and number operations. Numbers are the mathematical tools to count and measure. The key skills that come under this category are the sense of numbers and the reading of symbols like Roman numbers like that, and writing words and symbols, comparison of numbers like bigger than or smaller than, and addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are the basic applications in the daily life where a child should attain till the grade 3. Next, shapes and spatial understanding. The area of mathematics that involves shape, size, space, position, direction, and movement. This helps the students to explore and communicate the association between the objects, that is 2D and 3D objects, better. So it is better to explain the differences between the shapes by making connection with another object, like comparing and the differences. This makes the child can easily remember the concept of 2D or 3D, the shapes. Next, measurement in daily life situations. Children are often involved in activities like comparing their heights with one another and time left for lunch break and refusing to lift a heavy item. It is based on the weight. Children acquire an informal understanding of several physical attributes such as length, weight, volume, time, and temperature. Unknowingly, they are learning some kind of measurements in their life situations, daily life situations. Next, understanding mathematical communication. Language plays a crucial role in the construction of knowledge and in the learning of mathematics as well. When a child begins to solve simple problems presented through word mathematics class, they begin to learn the mathematics language also. The mathematical language includes like how many, the questions like how many altogether, how many are left. So these are nothing but the basic communication in mathematics. And all these are examples for the use of mathematical language. Next, mathematics in daily life. Pedagogy should be such that understanding with real life applications. Mathematics should be done with real life applications only. Next, recreation with mathematics. Mathematics curriculum needs to provide flexibility and integration by the use of poems, rhymes, riddles, stories, puzzles, local arts and culture, even the numbers which can be used by the games, and any cooking, the measurements in cooking while cooking. These all helps the students to enjoy the learning process. Again,
once again, I'm interfering, ma'am. I want just the previous slide only. Please keep it on.
Previous one.
Previous one. Can we go back? Back arrow will work, I think. No?
This slide,
mathematics with daily life, na. So we are here, Krishna Kumar sir and Bandi Korban sir. They are dealing in the class, na. So I want them to share their opinions. Let it be a bit interactive. यादव जी, ये मैथमेटिक्स विद डेली लाइफ जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, क्लासरूम में हम कैसा इंप्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं, थोड़ा बोल दीजिए
सर। हिंदी में बोलूं सर?
बोलिए सर, चलेगा, हिंदी में चलेगा
सर। हाँ सर, कोई बच्चा है सर, उसको डेली किसी शॉप पर जाता है, तो उसने वहाँ पर एक पेन खरीदा 5 रुपए के कॉस्ट का, तो उसने उसको 10 रुपए दिए, तो उसके पास कितने रुपए बचे, या उसने 10 रुपए के कितने पेन आएंगे? ये सर डेली लाइफ रूटीन से सर, हम किस शॉप पर कपड़े खरीदने जाते हैं, तो उसको सर हम पैसे देते हैं, तो वो कितने रुपए हमें लौटाता है। दिस इज द सब्ट्रैक्शन सर, ये एडिशन सर, इस तरह से डेली लाइफ रूटीन से कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं।
थैंक यू यादव जी। और कोई? कोरबन सर, आप फर्स्ट सेकंड क्लास के साथ ऐसा कुछ कर रहा होगा ना? एनी काइंड ऑफ एक्सपेरिमेंट मींस हाउ यू आर इन्वॉल्विंग देम?
Good afternoon, sir. So suppose this the number concept is there. I will explain it to a daily life situation that a child goes to market. Okay, what kind of things are there? How vegetables are sold, like in kgs. How liquid things are sold, like in liters. How do we sell? How vegetables are? Okay. How oil? Why we cannot sell oil in kilograms? Okay, why do we sell? Why do we buy in liters? Okay, like that. I will give some examples. Okay, because it's a liquid thing, we cannot. It's a solid. Okay, so we can measure solid thing in kilograms, and we can measure liquid things in liters. Like that, I will tell them situation which are day-to-day life they are using.
Thank you, sir. Now, Sripa ma'am, you can continue.
Shifting towards competency-based learning. The importance of competency-based learning. So the pedagogy is based on activities, experiences, integration of arts, sports, and technology, and connecting the learning to real-life situations. And children become advanced to the next level of learning only upon achieving the certain level of proficiency at the current level. So the teacher should prepare the learning outcomes based on the children's needs. Next, life skills in early grades. Decision-making skills. The decision-making process involves identifying the issue, gathering data, generating possible actions, making a meaningful decisions. And the curriculum should be based on making connections and constructing knowledge by building the prior knowledge and involving the students in meaningful tasks. Next, organizing skills. The values of sharing, caring, working cooperatively, sharing classroom experiences with parents. Confidence in speaking, writing, problem solving will provide a good start for acquiring the skills. Next, competency. Competencies are statements that specify what children will know and able to do and able to demonstrate what they have completed by learning. Learning outcomes are essentially evident that having acquired the competencies, what the child had learned after the completion of each and every lesson. Focus on developing capabilities of the child. Prior planning, according to their interest, abilities, and needs, to keep them engaged, to keep the students engaged and help them acquire meaningful and to develop, the teacher has to develop the appropriate skills among them. by planning activities. Every teacher should know how to plan and execute and observe and assess children's learning in foundational literacy and numeracy skills. Next, emphasis on child-centered pedagogy. The activities should be planned in such a manner that provides ample opportunities to all the children to express themselves in a classroom. For example, moving periodically during the day and observing the students and moving around the classroom and playing some games would help children to focus on planned activities. Teaching learning materials. Children can be encouraged to develop and play on their own board games with pictures, numbers, and educational play materials. This is the steps for preparing a lesson plan. The first step is understanding the learning outcomes. Second is planning the specific learning activities and pedagogies. Third, planning to sequence the lesson in an engaged and meaningful way. Fourth, planning to assess student understanding. Fifth, developing a realistic timeline. Sixth, planning for a lesson closure. Seventh, sharing lesson plan with students to help them engage. Eighth, reflection on lesson delivered. Ninth, lesson plan may be revised if needed. So while preparing a lesson plan, there are some guidelines or the principles for a teacher to keep in mind. Those are the connecting knowledge to life outside the school, and ensuring that learning shifts from the rote methods, and making examinations more flexible and integrating them with the classroom, and enriching curriculum so that it goes beyond the textbook. Learning assessment. The teacher must provide opportunity to the children to explore the immediate physical environment. So that is possible by the availability of simple, interesting storybooks which contains attractive pictures. It will attract the students to read the content given in that storybook. And the children need to be provided dedicated time on a regular basis and a comfortable space to read in the classroom. And that will be possible by the library classes, library periods like that. And activities to be conducted like reading aloud, sharing the reading material with one another, and discussion on books read by them, and role play by the characters of the story which they have read. They increase the involvement of students with books, and they develop the reading habit among the children. And the learning outcomes. The learning outcomes are classified into four different levels. In the first level, the child will try to achieve the learning outcome with the help of teacher. In the second level, the child will achieve the learning outcome with the support of teacher in a given frame time. And in the third level, the child will achieve the learning outcome on his or her own. Without the involvement of teacher, she can achieve her own learning outcomes. And in the fourth level, a child will achieve the learning outcome with the and helps and supports the other peer group also what she has learned. And she requires more challenging tasks because she has reached the level 4. These are the learning.
Just let that slide be there, because it's one of the very, very important aspects actually of teaching learning process. It's beautifully presented in this slide. You know, when a child comes to our school in class first, the child is totally dependent on a teacher or a parent. For learning anything, to understand the world, the child is totally dependent on surroundings, people. And a day will come when the child will read on his own and understand on his own. Means the journey of a child from teacher dependency to independency, and then after independency to helping hand. It's very beautifully put. So there are some learnings we can have out of this slide. Very, very important slide according to my opinion. If a child after staying here for 2 years fails to reach the second level, then child is not failing, we are failing somewhere. So all of us to make a question like that, whether the child when he joined in KV, What was his competency? After 2 years, today, can he read the book on his own with my support? When the child comes to 5th class, if he reads content, he should be able to understand. Unless if it is complex, some support is required. If it is not a complex content, then the child should be able to understand it. And not only the child should be able to understand, the child should be able to explain it to others. So if we understand this thing in a clear manner, then if we plan our teaching learning processes in such a manner that these skills are developed, then we are giving the children the skill to fish. Instead of giving them everyday fish, if we give them the skill to fish, then they will not be dependent on us. They will not come and ask us, give me fish. So outside life, if we see, even in class 10th, class 12th, forget about class 12th, even in post-graduation, children are requiring tuition. Why they are requiring tuition? Because they are teacher dependent forever. So if we understand it early stage that our target is to make children independent learners, then the children will be always grateful to us and we will be proud teachers. So please, all of you, understand this aspect. Our target is making the children independent, not remain them forever dependent. It's a very basic concept. If we understand this and if we plan our teaching learning processes accordingly, then we will make very useful resources, human resources for our nation. And this slide really, I felt this slide has summed up the things that we need to do in a school. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Next, role of a teacher. As a teacher, active engagement with every child is very important, and enabling classroom transaction and active engagement with every child is the first and foremost thing. Allow children to invent their own ways by using existing vocabulary to convey mathematical ideas related to numeracy and spatial understanding. And low-cost TLMs like worksheets or storybooks. The teachers may require variety of teaching learning materials like these, like worksheets or storybooks, to get children engaged in meaningful activities. And these may be toy kits or digital activities and contents, or the materials which are available in our household can also be used as TLMs for them. And here there are the levels for teachers, how the teacher should support a child during her teaching learning process. In the first level, the child, she observes the picture and names some part, and she point out the missing part without naming anything. Means the child is able to identify that some part is missing in the given label, like a parts of a body or like that, any chart. So here the teacher's work is, she will prompt the child and tell the name of the missing part by giving some clues. So the children can get the answer, the child can get the answer. And of course, the teacher should encourage while in this process. And in the second level, the child observes the picture and names some parts and point out some missing part using active vocabulary. Here, the teacher will appreciate and prompt the child, giving some clues to find out the missing part. The teacher will provide only the clues for the child and she will get the answer from the child. In the third level, the child observes the picture and names most of the parts and points out all the parts by using active vocabulary. Here, the child attains a level identify all the parts. Here, the teacher will appreciate and encourage the child to support other children. Even she can help the other children in her peer group. Next, in fourth level, the child observes and names out all the visible parts and missing parts and helps his or her peers in finding out the missing parts. Here, in this level, the child will identify the missing parts, she can give the names of the missing parts, and as well as she can help her friends also in identifying the missing parts. Here, the teacher will appreciate and encourage the child to continue the work. And national mission aspects and approaches, these are related to the administrative aspects, and the aims and objectives are the major objectives based on the recommendations of NEP 2020 are possessing reading and writing skills, and numeracy and spatial understanding, highly qualified teaching learning materials, continuous capacity building of teachers, and engagement with all stakeholders like teachers, parents, community, etc. And assessment as of and for learning. Can anyone give the description about assessment as of for learning?
Anybody can chip in. Any assessment as learning, one can take assessment of learning, one can take assessment for learning, one can take. Anybody can chip in, please. Ravikanji, please.
In Nipun Bharat, in the second day, Nagalakshmi highlighted this point, sir. What is the types of assessment? There are 3 types of assessment. First one is assessment for learning. Means teacher, before entering the class, he asked some questions in the classroom to check the previous knowledge. That assessment is called assessment for learning. And second one is assessment as learning. During the class, when the teacher teaching one chapter lesson, that time he checked what the student understand or not. He asked some questions and activities to check the knowledge, to check the understanding level of students. That is called assessment as learning. And after end of the test, after end of the chapter, teacher asks some questions or activities and gives homework related to topics. That assessment is called assessment of learning. So these are 3 assessment types: assessment for learning, assessment as learning, and assessment of learning. So I understand, sir.
Nice, sir. Even
Thank
this
you,
is
sir. Very well
when the
explained.
children write now, that is assessment for us. But when a child completes that examination, every time he picks up some kind of extra reading skill he will develop. So that is assessment, but that assessment is also helping as a learning tool. So when we set the paper, in particularly language classes, we have to keep this also in mind, when the assessment process itself should be helpful for the child to learn. So these concepts are very nice, and according to our professional development plan, I think this assessment is given to Sushma ma'am. Hannah ma'am. So I hope that when this topic comes up, you would be able to present in a nice manner, and all of our teachers will be refreshing that knowledge. We all went through these things when we were doing our B.Ed, but these kind of sessions will give us a kind of refreshing, opportunity. Thank you, ma'am. Now you can continue.
Okay. And parental and community engagement. The periodic events in school or community, this involves the parents and community to engage in teaching learning process and to know what are the regular activities that are done, and to enable all parents to provide home-based learning and support children even in technology-based also, and regular tracking of activity completion and academic process. This can be done by the teacher, activity completion and academic progress, as well as parents can also keep on tracking the activity. And it acts as a great strength for the students when parents also help the children in teaching learning process. And role of NCERTs, SCERTs and DIETs to develop extensive teaching learning modules and other resources for teachers in local language. Even we got some and the Diksha portal, and so we can improve ourselves. And aside from textbooks, joyful and innovative
Once
additional
again,
learning materials.
I'll be involving here, ma'am. Sripriyam, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we have been trying to do this program, Ravikanji, hai na? That library activity we planned, na? You can understand in this context.
Yes,
What
sir,
is
yes,
that?
sir.
To develop extensive teaching,
Extensive.
So
Extensive reading.
all the
Extensive reading,
language
sir.
teachers,
Yes,
please
sir.
keep that in mind. If we fail to give extensive learning tasks from every stage, then children will never read extensive literature. So if we help the children to read stories and other extra content from the early childhood, it will become a kind of habit. When a child develops a habit of reading extensively, that will help him a lot because the knowledge is in an explosive state. When we were students, the knowledge was very limited. But today, the knowledge is expanding in a very high speed. And if children can't read on their own and can't understand on their own, they will be limited to the content that we teach in a teach as part of curriculum. So we are indirectly making them handicapped. So this extensive reading habits, if we fail to develop, in simple words, we make the children handicapped. So that's why we took up that activity. So language teachers, please understand the importance of that activity in this context. Once for a few months we develop this habit. Every month that child will be looking for what story our teacher is going to share this week. That kind of feeling if we develop, then they will be discussing. First they will read, and some of them will start discussing the story with other children also. Okay, so the learning starts happening not only in the classroom, learning starts happening beyond the classroom also. They may be discussing with their parents as they are with the parents. They may be discussing these things with their elder siblings. So there is a lot of possibility right now. Though COVID has imposed certain restrictions on us, but at the same time, it has provided us certain opportunities. And encouraging extensive reading is very easy in this context. So already teachers have already started that process, but I want them to put their mind and heart into this process. It's a kind of nation building exercise. When we are doing this, we are building a nation. It's not a simple thing. I'm not telling lie, I'm telling truth. Thank you, ma'am.
Next, carrying out action research to solve problems faced at class, school or block level, which affect quality foundational literacy and numeracy. And assessment of progress and achievement by students and schools through holistic progress card. So the holistic development of a child involves 3 goals. Those are children maintain good health and well-being. That is the first goal. And the second comes children become effective communicators. And the third is children become evolved learners and connect with their environment. So these are the holistic development of the child which a teacher should focus on. And e-content will be prepared and uploaded on Diksha for mathematics and reading literacy in English and Hindi for FLM. So these e-content can be used up by the teacher for more interaction with the students. Role of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. Kendriya Vidyalayas will be developed as model schools for attainment of foundation literacy and numeracy. So here the KVs are nothing but the role models for the other schools, where the foundation literacy and numeracy should be attained in the given time period. And all the primary teachers of KVS may be trained for foundational literacy and numeracy, and all efforts will be made to ensure that children attain FLN by 2026 to 2027 through a robust monitoring mechanism to track the progress of each child and maintaining coordination with CBSE and NCERT. So here our role is very huge. Next, role of head teachers and teachers.
Once again, I will interfere, ma'am. Sorry. So here we are working as a pace-setting institution. Even this webinar we are conducting, we are going to put it on YouTube. I will be sharing with the teaching community in the neighborhood. Let them watch this. Let them understand what is this Nipun Bharat. And that is the first step. What is foundation literacy? And once they watch this, they will understand. Many teachers are there who are very enthusiastic. And Kendriya Vidyalayas role is acting as a pace-setting institute. If we succeed, we will stand as a model for other children, other schools, not children, other schools. And it's a virtuous cycle. If something starts happening good, that good breeds more good. More good breeds the best. So the cycle never ends. It goes on creating the best thing in the society. So let's hope KV Nizamabad will work as a pace-setting institute in Nizamabad district, and through us, the nearby primary schools will also stress on the development of foundational literacy, foundational skills, numeracy and literacy.
Okay. Teachers are the managers of their classrooms and would require build an inclusive environment. Like teacher is a mentor for the class, for the respective class, and she can nurture the students and become a counselor and look for a symptom of any sign of stress or anxiety or behavioral problems, and these can be solved by the help of teacher. And head teachers also have a significant role and play as a key partner in planning and implementing the participation strategies for FLN. And with foundational stage learners, teachers need to create situations which replicate their day-to-day life, as we have discussed. And role of community and parents. Parents and community will ensure that students will undergo regular checkup, nutrition, health, and their opportunities in participating in various activities and their progress in their learning activities. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Supriya ma'am. It's an excellent presentation. So here I have to share a few things. When we received a Nipun Bharat booklet, it was a huge booklet, around 400 pages of booklet. So here, Supriya ma'am is an independent reader, independent learner. So he went through that booklet and she developed a PPT, and she presented it in such a manner, almost every important aspect of Nipun Bharat is covered. If we want to go deeper, then that is the nitty-gritty of the implementation. That also we can do in the future. But overall, thanks a lot, Sripriya ma'am.
Thank you.
It's excellent, really. I'm very impressed, and it's very thought-provoking and illuminating also. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And already our teachers also attended a regional level webinar also. Na? So if anybody wants to share anything, you are welcome, sir. I think Korban sir attended, Krishna Kumar sir attended, Sushma ma'am attended.
Yes.
So you can share a few words about that experience.
Okay. So, good afternoon, Principal sir and my colleagues. So Nipun Bharat is based on NEP 2020 National Education Policy, has focused on the holistic development of the child. So there are different domains of development skill like physical and motor development, socio-emotional development, literacy and numeracy development, and cognitive development and moral development, art development. There are basically three holistic development through three goals. Goal first, children maintain good health and well-being. तो हिंदी में कहावत है कि स्वस्थ शरीर में ही स्वस्थ मस्तिष्क का निवास होता है. तो चिल्ड्रंस मेंटेन गुड हेल्थ एंड वेल बीइंग. So now the goal continue to provide an experience for health and well-being, socio-emotional development, health, nutrition, hygiene, and safety. Yes, age group for 3 to 9. Second development goal is children become effective communicators. So by the time 3 years old come into a preschool age in monolingual cultures, they have typically already begun to communicate their needs, likes and dislikes orally in their home language, which is also the school language. Now next one, development goal third, children become involved learners and connect with their immediate environment. So a major goal of foundational years education is help children move towards more logical thinking by helping them graduate from their perception bound to more concept based understanding. Now, yes, learning assessment. Sir, 8 minutes. Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Bandi Korbanji, you want to say something? Nothing. Sushma ma'am?
Sure, sir. It was actually a great learning, especially the training was, we had a great learning in the training. So what I have understood is with the effect of this National Education Policy 2020, this Nipun Bharat, it exactly matches the situation. And more concentration was made light on the child development, this levels of the child development. And since we are already dealing with class 1, they were very particular, like how we have to be very keen, and we have to be, as teachers, should be with the children in all levels of development. Also, two things which were more highlighted is like teacher, the role of teacher. Now teacher is no more like you sit and you explain something and they get the information. No, teacher is more a counselor, and teacher is just we give the basic, and it's up, like how they grow. We have to we have to help them with the basic, and rest we have to be a counselor for them. So that was one point which was discussed. And yes, definitely, at different levels of education, like different levels of ages, how the child should grow, that was more focused on, like be it numerical ability, or this language ability, different, all these things at different levels, what is expected from a child, considering the national education policy. This was explained very well. And we had a really nice training. So I mean, it was a lot of learning. I couldn't recollect all, but yes, definitely. I mean, the national education policy, ma'am said, this will definitely change. I mean, education, the system of education, it does keep changing. But again, it is improving. And definitely, when we look forward, when we look at the future, we want independent individuals, independent citizens, global citizens. That is what we are looking for. So this is the foundational literacy or numeracy is stands as a foundation for the child to become a global citizen. And KVs are definitely the platform to bring the children to that level. That is what I could conclude.
Thank you, ma'am. We can't agree more. We can't, it's a wonderful statement that you made. KVs are going to help the children develop these foundational skills and stand as example to others. Thank you. With this positive note, I hope we can close this meet. Okay, ma'am. Once again, congratulations, Sri Priya ma'am. You are evolving into a teacher trainer from a teacher, and it's very effective. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. It was really great.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.